I see it. Half of the fucking team, like I was just playing with Gemini earlier today, and I literally had to quit because we started the game with literally two people just I don't know what happened. We completed one gen and then I looked up and they were both just dead on fucking hook, bro. Like I don't know what happened. And so it literally got to the point it was so bad where I was like, Gemini, I'm no longer going to play in your lobby. I'm like, you're gonna have to come to my lobby because the teammates we get in your lobby are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I guess they got hooked 4% at 3 times and then just let go. And people are so childish for do that, and they do it every time there's some kind of killer buff, like X is too strong now. And it's like, oh, game-breakingly so, and they're like, of course.
And then I ran into this video where this motherfucker goes, I'm gonna make a video to show how easy killer is after the update. Literally plays nurse the fucking with 4 generator perks, bro. Like, hold on. Like, what are you trying to prove by playing literally the best killer with 4 generator perks? And he's talking about, well, I'm on Larry's. Like, that fucking matters for nurse, bro. Like, any other killer, I would have been like, okay. Nurse does not fucking care about any map. I'm sorry. Unless it's like a map with a shit ton of up-down floors, Nurse does not fucking care.
Yeah, like maybe RPD or something like that.
Yeah.
It's disappointing to get on the forums and like half the freaking stuff you see with tons of likes is like, killer is easy now. If you have to use gen defense, it's a skill issue. If you're not getting 3Ks and 4Ks, it's a skill issue.
Well, to be honest, I can't even make gen defense work in this update. Like, I literally do better not running generator perks.
Yeah, because all they do is they split up on gens, you push someone off, then someone else comes behind and taps your overcharge Call of Brine gen so you get no regression.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you wasted 2 perk slots just to do that to 1 generator. It's not worth it. And here's the reason. Earlier today, I literally told Gemini, like, bro, I'd rather play solo. Because while I was literally getting tunneled by a pyramid head, because right off the bat he chased me and I had a really good chase, and I kept him at a pallet for, I literally only kept him at a pallet for 1 gen. But when I tell you this man could not hit me with his power, it was fucking hilarious. We were at 1 pallet for the longest and he could not hit me with his power. And then after that, he finally hooked me, and then he kind of tunneled me right out of the fucking game. And I spectated Gemini, and he's just like, he's up at a generator that I already completed, doing nothing.
Just hanging around.
And then I realized, like, why our games were like, we're not getting shit done. There was one game where it was like, I was begging Gemini, I was like, please just get on a generator, because he literally took his time out to go look for Ruin in this meta. If there's any meta to just hop on a gen and forget about Ruin, now is the time. But not only that, without even trying, I found both Ruin and Undying, which means all that time Gemini spent looking for Ruin, he was doing nothing productive.
If he's gonna look for totem so much, just bring a freaking map or small game every time.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, you can totally just ignore Ruin right now. It's normal regression speed.
That's what I'm saying.
Then it deactivates after someone dies, so if y'all's teammates are as bad as you make it out to be, then definitely, like, within 2 minutes or something, it's gonna be gone anyway.
I mean, we all died and we had 2 generators left. I definitely feel like we could have at least, at the very least, got all the generators done if he had never wasted the time looking for Ruin in the beginning.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm stubborn like that, like even if it's a nothing hex or whatever, like, oh, there's some thrill of the hunt retribution going on, then I might do it, but to spend
Now,
that
I
much
get
time,
that.
at some point it's like, I'm just gonna do gens.
Yeah.
Bro.
Because it's not even like it was like super hurting us. It was like right off the bat he touched the gen. It was like, oh, he's got Ruin. Let me go look for it. And then he
And
proceeds.
that almost seems out of character for him, because him and Hybrid sometimes are like, oh, they've got Ruin, but they stay on the gens and don't look for the totems.
I would
So I guess
prefer them
either
to
way
do
they
that.
do it, it's doing it so slowly.
But nah, I realized, yeah, I had to give it a rest with Gemini because I realized his playstyle now. He's having too much fun with Blast Mine, and kind of what he does is, you know how he's his stealth playstyle. So he'll use Blast Mine, and then he'll creep to a very safe, far place, like away from the generator, and then he'll just wait. Like every time his spine chill lights up, he'll just fucking crouch away into some corner, and then wait for the killer to kick the gen, then come back to the generator, and then he'll keep doing that, and he'll never fucking get chased.
We need you to get chased, man, and he seems pretty excited when he's doing it too, like, wow, pout stunned. Ooh, you almost got me.
Right?
But
And
yeah, I cannot play killer without Jin Defense, man, because some matches I get lucky and I get a weak team, but I just put out a video recently where it's like freaking 60% increased cloaking speed,
oh my
10%
god,
faster
hold
uncloaking
on.
speed.
Bro, I just had this spirit match that was absolutely ridiculous. Alright, so I was trying this build, and the build that I was trying was, funny you brought it up. It was Thrill of the Hunt, Sloppy Butcher, Ruin, and something else, I forgot.
Is it
And
another
Whispers.
hex?
No, Whispers.
Whispers.
And they literally, right off the bat, first 30 seconds, they got, Ruin. I kid you not, I don't even know when they got Thrill of the Hunt. I just looked up because I was like, why, how did they keep finding everybody on the hook? I'm like, I didn't hit everybody by now. They should all be blinded. I look up and fucking Thrill of the Hunt is gone. So I'm like, okay. I'm left with nothing but Whispers and Sloppy Butcher. When I tell you that they literally got all of the generators done, and I just wanted this one kill. This man was dead on the hook. When I tell you, they all grouped up trying to body block on the jigsaw on the game map,
Oh my
and
gosh.
somehow they all went down for this one survivor, bro. Like the most ridiculous altruism you've ever seen. And I ended that match with a 4K because they were all too altruistic.
Because if they just let that guy die, they would have all three got out.
Yes, literally.
So that's the kind of games that people are factoring into Killer being so OP, the ones where they easily could have gotten more people out, but they chose not
Right.
to.
Because people will look at that game and be like, oh, Spirit OP, Spirit broken. It's like, no, you guys made a shit ton of bad plays.
Yeah. Because it doesn't
But
matter if you have an aggressive build sometimes. Like I had freaking Dissolution, Spirit Fury, Enduring, Bamboozle, and I just could not catch up to these people sometimes. Wraith still absolutely needs freaking Windstorm because he moves like a snail without it, even while he's in cloak.
Wraith moves like a snail without wings.
It just feels like it. Like you can literally see,
I don't know.
oh, that person's full health. Oh, they're going for the save, even though it's going to be them having to run halfway across the map just to get to the gate. Oh, what? I
Isn't
still
Wraith's
can't catch
close
them?
smarter than Spirit's phase? I mean, faster than Spirit's phase?
Yeah, I know people say he's so fast at base, but I still have never, like when I'm trying to win, I never take off purple windstorm, purple and cloaking speed because it's almost like he needs those add-ons.
That tells, man.
Because honestly, survivors don't move that slow. Like if you seriously can't get around them, you never get to body block them on anything.
Yeah.
So all those times hybrids getting blocked and you're saying, "Oh, Wraith is so P. I hate when they play like that." Like you're never gonna get those plays if you're not using any kind of windstorm on Wraith.
By the way, these add-ons work really well, and I didn't realize it before. But um, um, the Muddy Sports Day Cap that increases Yamoko's haunting by 10%, and the Yamayoki amulet, they actually work really well because it gives you a 70% duration increase. And the only downfall to it is you get 5% decrease in phase and movement speed. I feel like that's a fair trade-off. And like you can phase for so long, you know how they say you should be using spirit power in short bursts.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you don't have to do that because you can kind of use it as long as you like, as long as you really need to. And like really, you're never gonna really need to use it for like more than half, because I feel what it feels like is with this combination, using half of your phase feels like equal to using her entire phase like normally.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. They even had to put that downside on there, decreases the movement speed by 15%, so you have to use the yellow one to balance it out.
Exactly. Like she didn't have enough shit that handicapped her already.
Yeah. People still call her top 3.
Oh my, that irritates me so. I just heard that too. They were like, "Oh, this killer is like, there's nothing you can really do about this killer. She's so oppressive." And I'm like, bro, stop lying. Like, and the hands in the face of a good survivor, Spirit is absolute garbage now. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I
I'm telling
literally,
you, I don't play Spirit a lot because every time I do, I'm like blind and I can't find the survivor I was just chasing because I used my phase and they were quiet, maybe not because of Iron Will, but because of silent footsteps or some bullcrap that they get for free.
yeah. Well, what are you running? What are your add-ons? What add-ons are you running together?
For which killer?
Spirit.
With Spirit, I'm never really sure what to use. I mean, when I used to play Killer, I would just use their brown add-ons every time. So if I had to say, I might be using the Zori to make me move 5% faster, and the Shiawase amulet to increase my duration by 10%, something like that. Or my the gifted bamboo comb for 15% charge speed. Because she feels so freaking slow to start up her power without that.
Yes, yes. And here's what I use specifically. I use the any of her increase the charge time. Actually, I feel like that's one of her best. That's one of the best things you could possibly put on her. Increase the charge time for her power.
Yeah, because people were
Put that
saying
on.
the way you need to play her is in short bursts, but that freaking animation of just going into your power takes so much time
Lets
that it
them get
defeats the
so much
purpose.
distance. Yes. Just the bro. All right. So getting the M1. That alone already gets them so much distance, and then you have to stand there and wait in your power just to track something like scratch marks that comes out 3 seconds later than where they actually are. Like, people don't realize how fucking like behind, you are actually tracking the survivor with spirit.
Yeah,
But
scratch
here's
marks are freaking devastating for chase. Like, you'll literally be following someone, the scratch marks don't spawn as they're running.
yeah, but here's what I do to kind of negate that. I will put on charge time add-ons, and I will put on her dry cherry blossom. So when you see them, you can kind of get onto them as fast as possible. And I mean, she moves decently fast. So as long as you can make a pretty good read with them, like you just you'll pretty much be able to get them in the range for the dry cherry blossom. Either that's my combo with the cherry blossom, or the mother's daughter ring, because you know everybody runs that. I told you the Yamayoke amulet and the amulet and the movement speed. That's actually the only time that I actually use the movement speed add-ons. And other than that, I use charge time. I use a charge time, and when I actually want to see scratch marks, I think, yeah, I guess I might throw on charge time and maybe movement speed, or really, a lot of the time, I put on charge time or like in a reappearance duration, which I know does absolutely nothing. Not her reappearance duration, her passive phasing. That's another one though that's really good. Charge time and her reappearance duration. Plus her reappearance movement speed, because what that does is it makes it so much easier to react out of phase in case you don't like pinpoint them exactly.
Yeah, when I do play Spirit, I just use a mother-daughter ring cherry blossom.
Oh my
And that makes her bearable to play for me.
yeah, I feel that.
But I don't take that and the wins I get with that and say, Spirit is a top 3 killer because I killed those people who I couldn't have beat with Trapper or whatever.
Nah, I definitely, and you're the artist. I definitely feel like the artist is, bro. The new Sloppy Butcher is really good. I just can't think of a build for it. Also, Ghostface is super underrated right now, I feel.
I think he's still as bad as he's always been. You need
Here's,
the
well,
drop leg knife sheath on you every time.
say what?
The drop leg knife sheath, which gives you 10% extra movement speed for 5 seconds after you mark someone.
Well, I'll tell you the build that I was running with him. Here's the legit last build I was running with Ghostface. I was running a survivor that reveals Ghostface is inflicted with Oblivious for 60 seconds. And his cinch traps with Night Shroud remains active after a failed basic attack. And then I have Whispers on, Blood Favor, and I had Hex Haunted Ground and Hex Undying. That's actually crazy. I had 0 generator perks. And I guarantee you this build worked like 5 times in a row. I don't know why.
They just had to ignore the hex.
Do they ignore the Hex?
Didn't you say it was Haunted Grounds Undying?
Yeah. And Blood Favor.
Yeah, maybe they're just scared by the 4 totems they see glowing. Oh, Blood Favor too, so that's all 5.
Yep. Wait, is it 5? Because does Undying spawn 2 totems?
No, that's probably I probably said that wrong. I think it's 4 because
Yeah, it's 4.
Haunted Ground spawns 2 totems, so you would need another hex in that build for all 5 to be lit up.
Yeah. But honestly, you could probably switch out like Hex Undying for probably like barbecue and chili if you really want to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, info perks. I don't know how you run whispers on all your builds, because
Bro,
to me info like that is either useless or it's like hard to pinpoint on whispers.
I don't know because I've been using whispers on Spirit for a while, so I don't know. It's just whispers barbecue and chili seems like that's all I need for real. If I to be on Survivor's ass the whole game, whispers barbecue and chili is literally all I need.
If you're on a big map, then whispers could probably help. Like if you're on Mother's Dwelling or what's that Auto Haven map, Blood Lodge, where people are splitting up on gens everywhere, then maybe you can use that to see, okay, it's activated, so they're in there in this corner on this gen, definitely.
I mean, it's so good, especially when I'm playing any type of movement speed killer, because you can just go into the general area, and I can pretty much like eyeball the range, like the 32-meter range of whispers activation, so I know what gens they could possibly be on, which is basically like process of elimination. It's almost like corrupt. Like I know they're not on these gens. If I just phase past them or just what do you call what Nurse does? Blink past the gen and it doesn't light up. I don't have to worry about any survivors being over there. And then as soon as it lights up, I know they're either on this gen. I go there, and then immediately just start hitting pressure. As soon as I get the down, I get barbecue and chili, and then I'm back on someone else. It's almost like pretty much what Whispers barbecue and chili does for me is probably what Lethal Pursuer and barbecue and chili does for you. I noticed you were running that.
Yeah, it's cool to test out the new lethal because instead of just having it as the one-time effect, it also gives the 2 extra seconds or reading to everything else. So I thought about using it with like I'm all ears and barbecue and stuff like that.
I didn't even know I didn't even know that they made any changes to it.
Yeah. Killers have gotten a lot of buffs to their perks and stuff, but it still doesn't make the game killer-sided.
Yeah, bro, here's how I feel about it. I feel like I feel like Killer now feels like alright, I feel like Solo Survivor now feels basically how Killer felt to play before. So when you hear all the survivors complaining, oh, Solo Survivor is fucking terrible to play as.
Because your teammates are giving up and causing you to lose.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like I said, sometimes I would literally rather play solo than play with Gemini, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that says a lot right there. That says a lot right there. Like, Solo Survivor isn't that bad as long as you... I don't know. It depends, because I get sort of decent teammates on solo. Sometimes. Like, half of the times I get decent teammates. And then half of the times I just get teammates who look like they just started the game this week.
These freaking TTVs with keys and left behind and stuff like that.
Oh,
The thing that makes me mad is the people DCing get excused and crap all the time. Like people say, oh, well, they just don't want to play another 40-minute Forever Legion or Forever Plague game. It's like,
Forever Legion.
Yeah,
No,
they say,
I get that. I get that.
I freaking disagree with the entire terminology of forever builds. Like, that has never existed in this game. Not with Forever Freddy, not with these new Thanatophobia builds. It's nowhere close to forever. Oh, that's messed up.
But no, a Legion is a problem now. He definitely is a problem now.
Yeah, he's a problem when your teammates keep gifting freaking 5-hit downs. Like every time Hybrid and us go against a Legion, it's always him getting all 4 people injured off of one use of his power. Every single time.
Yeah. But here's something that I need, because I don't know what to do when Legion runs at me with his power. Like, how do I just not get hit? How do I not get hit? What can I do? It's like no matter what I do, if I try to 360 him, I still get hit. I mean, I camp a pallet, and if I drop it, he just leaps over it, hits me. If I don't drop it, I mean, we're just at a stalemate right there.
Yeah, all you can do is get lucky that you drop the pad on them and knock them out of their power. Otherwise, I don't really go for it.
They always respect. They never go in. They always respect. That's the thing. Like, one of these days, I'm gonna just run to a pallet and I'm gonna just stare Legion in the face and wait for him to wait for me to drop the pallet, and I'm never gonna drop it.
Dead hard. Dead hard is not dead.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. After using Dead Hard and Live for like a bunch of games, I think I've maybe gotten cooked twice from Dead Hard, which is a big improvement since the last. From before, even from how Dead Hard was before. Because I don't know if you remember when they made that small change to Dead Hard and it came out a bit late, so you couldn't really, it made it kind of hard to time it perfectly. With this, I felt like they reverted it back to, so now you can time it right, but it just doesn't last that long. It lasts for half a second. So you really have to time it right. But with that being said, you can take a hit. Here's the one thing I don't like about the new Dead Hard though, is that it hits you with the mending status effect, and I've literally seen people go down from getting chased longer enough. With the old Dead Hard, like, you could just, take the health state and just keep looping forever. Now it's kind of like you'll eventually go down if you never get a chance to mend. Because you're gonna keep breaking bloodlust and breaking chase slightly. The killer's still on you, so you never really get enough chance to mend fully. And eventually your what is it? Your endurance or whatever is gonna slowly. You're just gonna die eventually. But other than that, I actually feel like Dead Hard is better now. Like, I feel like the only change Dead Hard needs right now is they need to change it from 0.5 seconds to 1 second.
Well, that's the nerf that they just did against it, because 1 second was too much.
I don't think that was the problem, Dead Hard.
Well, it is the problem, because the longer Dead Hard is, the more they can use it to do it to make sure they get to the pallet, and then immediately drop the pallet. So even if you try to swing into it at the right time, they still have the advantage.
True.
Like, it's pretty much a ping issue.
It doesn't give you distance now, though. Like, if you whiff Dead Hard, well, actually, it does.
It gives you distance if you swing into it and they time it right.
Yeah. But if they just like whiff Dead Hard, they can't just whiff Dead Hard like they did before just to get distance.
They can still like spin into you and then do the animation, I think.
Yeah. But it's very bad now because they really have to time it with the 0.5 seconds. So I get what you're saying. I get why they made that change. But I feel like 0.5 seconds is kind of too strict. I mean, 0.5 seconds is
It's not. I've swung into it plenty of times. Because Rosie said, oh, with this dead hard nerf, it's gonna make it to where you can lunge again to hit the survivors. And it's like, no, this dead hard specifically punishes you for doing that.
Well, then I'm not using it as effectively as I could be.
Wow, she was just silent in the corner and kicked me. Almost didn't make that hit.
I just got one question, because I feel like these are the two killers that I have problems with right now. Is how do you loop Oni in his power, and how do you loop Deathslinger?
Deathslinger, it's pretty easy. You just try to stop line of sight, like you do with Huntress. And, although it's easier said than done, because it seems like he's not how he was when he first came out, where you just get caught onto everything to where he can't even reel you in 90% of the time. So I would just, like, you don't have to play as safe when you're healthy, just try not to let him shoot you. But whenever you're injured, then you absolutely play safer against him, like pre-dropping pallets and stuff. Because then you give him the option to shoot you before you're able to drop it.
Right. And what about Oni and his power?
Oni and his power is very difficult to get away from because he's moving so fast and he has sometimes a deceptively bigger attack hitbox than it looks like. But if you've played Oni at all, it's like super hard to get a freaking hit on someone in that thing. So sometimes when they're in close quarters, they can't even use their dash attack.
When I play against people, it doesn't fucking seem like it, bro. Like, they be curving around shit that I'm like, how is that even possible?
Well, you do have to, like, try and hug obstacles and stuff, of course, but sometimes you make it so obvious that that's what you're gonna do that they play around it, so they're hugging the thing themselves just so they can catch up to you. So I guess you kind of have to mix it up.
Be unpredictable, that's the name of the game.
But the biggest thing I'd say is don't let them get that first hit so early. Because pretty much every time we've gone against Oni, Hybrid, or Gemini, or the random that we're with, just gives him like a near enough instant hit.
Yeah.
It's weird playing twins with no Deerstalker.
And I thought, hold on, and one more thing. I thought Michael Myers could not stalk if all the generators were done.
No. You might be getting it confused with Freddy or something, who like can't teleport to the gens after they're all done.
Okay. So he can still stalk and get his evil within 3. And when all the gens are done. And it's always been like that?
Yeah. There's nothing that has to do with gens that stop Myers from doing something.
That's weird, because I specifically remember having to run, well, I specifically remember running, what was it, NOED on him just for the end game, because I couldn't get his stalk off. I couldn't get his, evil within 3.
what might have happened there is you didn't know that he can actually max out on his stock. Like, when you start out and you're stalking people, their ores are white and they progressively get like pink and then red. That means you're actually draining the stock from them. And so people have debated like that shouldn't be a thing in this game, you know, having limited stock on
Okay.
people. But yeah, you can actually run out.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, do these guys have a freaking circle of healing up or what, man? What the? I'm gonna have to go for a mass slug, there's no way.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to figure out a sloppy build. Because I feel like sloppy butcher is so good now. If you could interrupt them, if you could find them and interrupt them while healing. If they have med kits, like that's gonna be devastating.
I've always thought that medkits is how you counter sloppy, not the other way around.
Well, usually, before the update, I would agree with you. With the old sloppy butcher, yeah. But this new sloppy butcher, where it like decreases over time, nah. Because they'll charges, if you just keep interrupting them, the charges eventually run out. Unless they have like built to last or something.
Dude, what the heck is this? They're just picking each other up instantly. I've gotten 4 hooks this game.
How many gens are done?
5. This is twins. This is what Rosie and a lot of people call it, like a top 4 killer.
Rosie doesn't think that anymore. He actually said he stopped playing twins because they were trash since the Circle of Healing came out. He kind of said Circle of Healing kind of shits on twins, and I kind of agree. Ever since Circle of Healing came out, I have not been able to do well with twins at all.
This guy's literally run straight into me just about every time I've hit him, and they're just winning this game.
Holy shit, this build actually looks kind of decent. True's using Pentimento, Thanatophobia, Hex Plating, and is that Eruption?
It's bullcrap. Should have hit him. Yeah, Eruption is overhyped.
I think so as well.
Dude, the window they give you to freaking kick Victor is way too much. Because it's
Yeah.
seriously like they spend 3 seconds running to you and they're still able to pull it off.
I know exactly what you mean. That shit has happened to me so many times that it made me quit playing Twins for a while. Cause it's like they run around, they just run around this fucking basic loop and you never catch them. Cause you can never actually, you know, get your pounce off. And then when you try to attempt the shit, you fucking fly past them and then you get punished for it. And now you have to walk all the way to them with Charlotte.
She didn't even kick me there.
But you know what I noticed that was really good that someone did against me is Cold Wind Farm.
Whoops.
Victor and Cold Wind Farm is kind of good because of the tall cornfield. You can't really see him if he misses that well.
Let me release Victor, are you freaking kidding me? Just because this exit area is so close? Yeah, I get my measly 1 kill. I feel like Victor was supposed to stop people from being able to get out if you down them with him.
No, like if you down them, no. Like if you don't down them, if you get the first hit, you have Victor on their back. Yeah, they can't leave.
Yeah, but I thought even with him just downing them from injured to the down state with his pounce, it was supposed to hold it for like 5 seconds, but the guy just falls out backwards. Yeah, pretty much every time I slugged that match I was punished, which is the way you're supposed to play Twins, so what could I have done differently to get me more kills there than just freaking 1? Oh, would you look at that, 2 botany knowledge. And 2 medkits and 1 desperate measures.
This man is really just running around Shaq, bro. Like, how do they get away with this shit? And then he baited window just to, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I've tried to search up killer gameplay on YouTube to find, like, if there's anybody out there who has, like, the same gameplay experience as me as you. And it's just, like, going against baby survivors, freaking 1 gen gets done. And the video's titled, "This cool new fun plague build" or whatever. Just playing
Right.
chill or whatever.
That's something I was actually thinking about, that's something I was actually thinking about earlier today, because it's like, there's so many fucking survivors. This survivor build. Oh, this survivor tech. This is how you loot this tile. This is how you loot this killer. And then you look up killer videos, and there's like nothing.
Well,
There's
there's
no
plenty
killer
of killer
videos
stuff
discussing
out there.
tech. I
It's
mean,
just that they don't reflect reality, like, oh, you can use this super fun build on this character and you're gonna win with it and stuff like that.
yeah, it's definitely not realistic. I think the best killer video that I've actually seen, like educational killer video, was like a video describing how killers should be looping tiles. But that's it. There's no killer tech, no like, yeah, but I kind of get why, because like every killer is different, so you have to, it'll be a very long video explaining all of the killer tech, and I feel like there's very few people that play every killer at high level, so you have to get like a handful of people to
Yeah,
kind of join together on that
true
video.
talent plays every killer at high level.
Every killer?
Yeah, people say, oh, you're not that good of a Freddy and crap like that. And it's like, well, the results speak for themselves. The killer's terrible anyway, so even in the good hands of him who knows how to play freaking M1 killers perfectly and stuff, he's still gonna have a hard time.
Alright. Man, I felt so bad for him watching that I mean, not Plague, that Wraith match against Oracle.
He couldn't
Because it
get
was
a
just,
down.
yeah, that was just straight bullshit, man. It's just,
And that was with pre-nerf Wraith, the one that didn't need to be nerfed at all, because he was in a good
right.
spot. I straight up refuse to play some killers, or I play some of them less just because of the nerfs that have happened to them.
Let me
Like
guess,
maybe I
Death
would
Slinker's
play
on the top of
more.
that list.
Yeah, I haven't played Deathslinger.
I knew it.
I will not freaking do it with that stupid zoom in. One of his main appeals was that he could quickscope, and now you've completely removed that from him. So shots before that you could do where it would take like super precise precision and timing and everything around corners, you can't pull those off anymore. But people will take that and they're like, yeah, now he actually needs skill to play.
No. I hate when they do that because it's literally like, doesn't matter how much skill you have, that's a handicap. You just can't do it. Like I can.
And most people won't even level with you and say, yeah, the nerf was complete BS, he needs it rolled back. They'll always say something like, oh, well, they could bring quickscope back, but they need to keep the cooldown on your zooming in and your attack or whatever, or he needs to keep the 32-meter terror radius.
I actually agree with that. Yes, give him the give him his old shooting system, but please do not remove his terror radius back to where it was. Please, I felt like he was too. I felt like that was the only problem with him before, is that he was too quiet. Nothing else. I feel like there was an actual problem with him.
Well, I feel like it's just taking a freaking unique strategy people had with him and making less variation with the killers they play, because Monitor and Abyss was used by few killers, but put it on him and he was actually turned into like a stealth killer.
Yeah, and that's
who
what I
had
didn't.
range, and that was unique. And
what was his terror radius before?
it was 24, I think.
So the same as spirits, I believe. And here's the thing, here's the reason why I didn't like that. It's because he's a range killer. So him getting the drop on people and getting a free hit is very devastating, because the distance that they get off, if you're good, it really doesn't matter, because you can kind of just, he's a range killer. You can kind of just negate that instantly if he has good aim.
Yeah, but you can still look around and you hear the little ringing sound cue as he's aiming at you.
That's debatable. I mean, you can hear spirit and people still get fucking tripped up by that all the time.
But the thing is, he's a ranged killer who, even when he hits you like 5 times successfully with his attack, he's never guaranteed a down, because you can be behind a wall and break the chain. Similar to Pinhead.
True, true. I mean,
Like,
that's
people
if
are
you're
saying
not...
he's stronger than Huntress and crap. No, Huntress can straight up down you if she hits you 2 times.
Yeah. Like, there's no debate. If you get hit twice, you're just down.
And people probably have the opinion that he downs too fast or whatever, even though he literally has to slowly reel you in like a fishy, like Rosie said. And then he can get you.
I feel like it's different because he has an actual scope. See, that's the thing about him and Huntress, is Huntress doesn't have a scope. Like, it's literally muscle memory. With him, you get to use your eyes,
It's almost like the difference between like being able to like being able to track somebody, you know, like it's just different, bro. You like you just get to aim them down, and then you're quick scoping. Like there's this quick scoping, well there was quick scoping tech at that. Huntress doesn't even have that, and that's the real reason why it seems like he gets it off so much faster. Because I feel like that's one of Huntress's biggest downfall right there for Chase, is that she literally has to slowly wind her hatchet up.
Well, people can kind of mitigate that with Babushka, which almost every Huntress seems to freaking run these days.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
The ice hills on Ormond, man, they are not kind to Blight.
Oh yeah, this is another thing. I saw a video with this 4K power survivor, right?
Yeah.
She goes and she says, she demonstrates, she's like, okay, I'm gonna take these stats of how much I escaped and then how much I actually killed with only Blight. And remember, this is a 4K hour survivor, tons of experience. And she's like, oh well, according to my personal stats, there is 20% decrease on escape rate of survivor and a 20% increase on kill rate for killers. So say if you were at like a 70%, if she was like a 70% kill rate for killer, she's at like a 90% kill rate for killer now.
Okay, how good are your survivors?
That's
Freaking 90%.
Exactly. And then you were like, and then she's playing Blight, but she took this, she didn't really play that many games either. I think she said she played, what, 25 games at max. I know no more than 25.
Yeah, imagine like 90% of freaking 10 games.
But she's a 4K hour survivor in the hands, and she's playing fucking Blight, like the second best killer in the game. And she was complaining about, oh, it feels like I just catch up to survivors way too quickly. Bitch, you're playing Blight. Save the best for last. What the fuck do you want? What the fuck do you want? Like.
Running to Shack because there's nothing I can do against you there. Oh my god, they almost got the freaking middle gen. I hate when they get the middle gen in maps because it pretty much means game over.
In Ormond? Ormond?
Yeah. Ormond, but also maps in general. Like, oh, you didn't get the survivors yet? You lose.
Because now you gotta really... Now the gens are really split up, so it's gonna take you a lot more time to actually control.
Yeah, that's why I freaking hate, and this is the biggest thing I argue against all the time, is people saying you can just get a 3-gen with killer, make a dead zone around there, and win super easy.
Nah, not that
3-genning is so freaking overrated, man.
Yeah, it does help a little bit, but that
Like,
is...
even if you get to that point, then it's like, what, the survivors are just gonna go down when they know you have a 3-gen? No, they're gonna play safe.
Yeah, they're just gonna spine chill and sprint burst.
And they're like,
out of
oh,
that
but
situation.
3-genning plus Call of Brine and Overcharge. Oh, what? But then they're gonna tap the gen because you spent that much freaking time to kick it. Even downing a survivor when you have a 3-gen isn't doing that much for you because then they know you can't hook that person or they're gonna finish a gen. Unless these people think that, oh, as killer with a 3-gen, you're always just gonna start at them being at 0.
Oh, here we go again, bro. Killers are way too overpowered. That's the name of this video. I'm 3 seconds in and I see Spirit. Like, this is so irritating.
This is so freaking frustrating that these guys are just pushing this middle gen and I can't down anybody. This is exactly what happens in a 3-gen. The guy's freaking full health. I have no pressure on the survivors even though I'm guarding the gen they all keep pushing because no one is injured so I can't down them.
Did this nigga just say with fucking Thanatophobia and Pentimento? Gens go from 90 seconds to 150 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling you. Like, oh, with the best circumstances possible, this is the math. Let's see if with freaking agitation and blight I can make it to stop that middle gen. Nope. Left for 5 seconds too long. Now they can just go back to whatever gen they have 99 and win. They 100% have a freaking gen 99. Or they could have anyway.
I wouldn't mind running Pentimento and Thanatophobia if I could just get consistent pressure throughout the game.
Our scratch marks literally weren't showing there.
Like, I can honestly see why the Thanatophobia Pentimento is a disaster on Legion, but because he just gets everybody injured.
Even he
easily.
doesn't have time to go and light those totems.
True. And then another thing is, like, killers don't exactly have perks like survivors to tell them where the totems are. You just gotta find them by luck, or either have like a hex totem already.
Oh, what the heck, a freaking moth? That thing's huge. Forget flying roaches, flying moths. Ah, get off me. Oh, it is a roach. It's causing me to lose this freaking game. Get off my pants. It's flying too.
What the fuck? Nah, flying roach. Yeah, nah. Bro, that, oh my god, that reminded me of this time where I was playing, I think I was playing DBD and I had all the lights off and I was like kinda, this was when I was, I don't know, but I was, like I was playing in a basement. Do you remember that? Did I ever tell you that? Gemini knows. But, okay, I was playing in a basement and, man,